Haven't you heard of irregular adjectives? Oh my god, how is it possible? Okay, so my name is Mr. Mark and I'm an English teacher and I'm going to make you learn about all adjectives, all irregular adjectives. So as you know, there are some regular adjectives and degrees of comparison, and in comparative and superlative forms we have endings ER and EST. So, for example, like let's say the pretty, prettier, the prettiest, yes? But there are 6 irregular adjectives that have different forms and you have to know them by heart. So, let's move on to the first adjective, irregular adjective. Here it is. Good, better, and the best. Okay? Good in comparative forms, when you compare one thing with another, one is better, and the best is superlative form. Okay, so for example, Mr. Mark, it's me, is better than Mr. Lance. It's definitely better. So better when you compare two things, and you have than here. And you can say also that Mr. Mark is the best teacher in the world. Maybe. Okay, so here is the best. The best. Don't forget that we use the with the article, with the definite article the. So the best. Good, better, the best. Okay? So the next irregular verb is bad. Bad, you know, the bad. So bad, but what can be worse than bad? Worse, yes, worse, and the worst. Okay? So, for example, Jack is the worst student ever. I have never met worse student than Jack. Jack misses classes. Jack is not attentive. Jack always interrupts me. Okay? So Jack is the worst. So in the highest degree of comparison, the worst student ever. You cannot say baddest, the baddest, no. Because this is an irregular verb. So we cannot say baddest. It's wrong. It's wrong. Don't say this. Just the worst. Okay? The next irregular verb is little. How to say little, but if it's less and the least. Little, less, and the least. Okay, for example, I received less money than usually for my classes. So I am not happy. Mr. Mark is not happy. So you can see that less money, I received less, like lower income, less than usual. So sometimes my students are not so fair, you know? Yeah. Okay, so the next one is much. Much is opposite to little. Much, okay? Much, more, the most. So you compare more and the most. And look at this example. Monica is the most beautiful woman in the world. She thinks so, I guess. So the most beautiful woman. Here we have most. And the superlative degree of comparison. Most. Yes. Okay, so the next one is far. Far, you know, near, but far. So far is further or farther, and the furthest or the farthest. So what's the difference between further and farther? Further is additional. So, for example, please give me some further information about it, some additional information about it. But farther, if the object is farther in the distance than the other subject, the other object, okay? It's a farther. Alright, and let's move on to the next one and the last one. But last but not least. So old, elder, or older, and the oldest or the eldest. So what's the difference between older and elder, and what's the difference between the older and the oldest and the eldest? So let's take this example. His elder son's name is Tyrone. Yeah? But Tyrone is 2 years older than John. So if you compare things, use all the time older. He is 6 years older, 7 years, it doesn't matter, older than John. You cannot say elder, yes? But for example, if I have an elder brother or a sister, you have to say either elder, but possible to say also an older. So older or elder. British would prefer to use elder, but Americans would prefer all the time to say older. Okay guys, so before we wrap up, I would like to give you some homework. So try to make up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences with irregular adjectives. Alright? So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, press the bell button, and see you soon!